So what's going on? You guys retired to Cuenca. What's this all about?
You know, you see online all the time there are these lists of best places to retire in the world. You know,
Oh, you fell for that.
Yeah, and Ecuador was always at or near the top.
Uh-huh.
So we took a tour down here 3 years ago just to make sure we weren't being totally delusional, and absolutely loved it.
Frank and Angie, discovercuencaecuador.com, and we're checking in with a retired couple, Jackie and Marco, that retired to Cuenca. How long ago did you guys do that?
We moved here 13 months ago.
Yeah.
13 months ago.
13 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so over a year ago, yeah. So this is a good time to check in, kind of a 12-month interval.
Even though our Spanish is just terrible, we're having really no problems getting along. Our days are packed full of people and activities. We're doing fine on our retirement. It's like we can have a comfortable lifestyle here. Where in the United States, we were looking at eventually selling everything we have so that we could afford our health care.
Yeah, and here we both bought into IESS, and our total in health insurance for both of us is $82 a month.
Yeah.
No deductible, and we've taken advantage of that. Healthcare here so far has been excellent, not very efficient. You know, I mean, it's a huge bureaucracy. It takes a long time, but it's the care has been uniformly good.
Yeah. We're fairly healthy. Me, other than being a breast cancer survivor and to just go through some maintenance issues for a couple more years, we're fairly healthy, and
I'm just old.
yeah. But we have seen some doctors for this. What I'm pleasantly surprised about is that the doctors that we've seen here will initially recommend more of a holistic treatment before going to the more traditional North American style of medicine. We've been going to the little spa community outside of Cuenca often. The doctor for Marco's knees in the U.S., he was getting cortisone shots. He was going through that routine for a little over a year before we moved here. And the doctor here just says cortisone basically is close to the final result. He wanted Marco to go to baños at least twice a week for a few weeks and see if that'll get rid of it. We're pretty hopeful that that's going to happen. We have a friend who had horrible back pain, and she went to baños like her doctor told her for twice a week for 6 weeks, and her back pain went away, and that she's been suffering with for years in the U.S. So there's just that. I love the try the holistic approach first, and then if that doesn't work, then we get into the more traditional North American style of treatment. I really like that.
Yeah, well, talking about health, matter of fact, the first time we actually physically encountered you was by accident. In Cuenca. We just kind of ran into you, which is common in Cuenca to run into people that you know.
Yeah.
Cuenca, you know, when you look at the figures, sounds like a medium-sized city, but really it has a small-town feel because everybody congregates around certain areas, and so it's real easy to run into people. And so is that something that you guys do more of? Do you walk around a lot more?
Yeah, we do. We don't have a car, and we don't intend to have a car.
Yeah, you don't need one.
Which, again, cuts down on the expenses. So we take the bus a lot and taxis occasionally.
Yeah, 25 cents for me and 12 cents for him on the bus.
I'm an old guy.
Yeah, and taxi is the last resort.
Yeah.
A lot of people we meet over the internet, right? And so you get that internet impression, but then when you run into them physically or in real life or whatever you want to call it,
reality.
Yeah.
you know, you know, I just want to say that a lot of people, including yourself, you just look like you have more energy and more, you know, just have a more of a vibrancy and energy, and actually people look younger. I run into other people that and I think it's the walking, you know, myself, you know, and the weather, it kind of does that to you.
A lot of weight. During my cancer treatment, I had to take steroids, and so my medical oncologist told me I will gain 15 to 35 pounds. There was just no way around it, and I gained 15 to 20, and I've lost over 10 pounds of that since we moved here.
Wow.
I am not cooking. Marco and I are not cooking like we used to in the States because many of the ingredients are just not available. So we had to make big adjustments, and we're on a budget here. So we're trying to buy cheap. So we go to the mercados, and our meals here at home are very, very much vegetable and grain based. We eat beef maybe a couple times a month maximum. We just bought a big chunk of fish, and we'll be making fish soup, and we buy chicken. But you know, we just eat mainly vegetable and grain based because we want to save money. It feels so good to, you know, look at our groceries and say, boy, we purchased. We've eaten about $20 worth of food in a week. That's it.
Isn't that great?
20 to 30.
Yeah, and going to the mercado is a real adventure. I remember the first time I went down, I ordered a dollar's worth of bananas, and I got 23 of them.
Yeah.
I said, what the hell
You
do
did
with
good.
23? It's great.
I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
Here in Cuenca, it is really, really easy to get comfortable in your home and not leave. We have fiber optics here at our home. The internet is great. Cell phone service is great. There's so many restaurants here that deliver, and some of the food are
we
just
avoid restaurants generally because that adds up.
Yeah, the infrastructure is
but
definitely.
there is a business that makes outstanding meals, fabulous creamy fettuccinis and lamb, roasted lamb, and different things like that. They'll deliver food that may end up being $4 a plate or something like that, and it's delicious, and it's easy to get stuck in the home because the TV is good, the cell phone service is good, food delivery is good, home is really comfortable. You could afford a comfortable home because rent and everything is inexpensive. You got to get out, and one of the ways that we are forced to get out of our home is that we have dogs we need to walk. And that forces us, we have to walk the dogs because we don't want them pooping in our yard, and they force us to get out. And because the weather is so good here in Cuenca, by good I mean, on the average it'll be upper 60s to lower 70s. There are many places that we can go with our dogs and sit outside. There are restaurants with tables and chairs outside, lots of parks and things like that, and that helps us to get out. I think that the comfort level here in this city is pretty high. It's easy to get stuck in the house. Don't do it, you guys, those of you who are thinking of coming.
Cuenca's got a lot to offer.
And the city is wonderful to get out.
We agree. Cuenca's got a lot to offer. So we're glad you're here. On the subject of meeting you over the internet, initially you guys engaged Gringo Good Samaritans for some assistance in finding a rental. That's how we initially met, and then we ran into you in Cuenca on the street. Do you want to tell us anything about that? How did that go for you?
We knew about you long before we moved here. Like Marco was saying, we did the research before we moved, and we knew about your services. We definitely wanted to get some help in getting rentals because we read about the culture, but we haven't lived the culture. Our Spanish was terrible. We just wanted to make sure that we had as many advantages as possible when looking for a home. Mark and I had looked at your website and saw all the work you had done and all the people who were happy with the work you did in helping them find a home. And we just had no worries about finding a place. I remember as we were making friends our first month here, February of 2016, we were, and with Mark who jumping right into theater, we were making a lot of friends that we met through the amateur theater group really quickly. And they were all, I mean, there was one horror story of a couple who said they hopped from one apartment to another for like 13, 14, 15 months-ish before they found a place that they're going to plan on staying for a while.
Probably hundreds
of places. I wasn't worried because of your recommendations and things that it was going to be easy. So we hired you and you were going to have a certain number of rentals for us to see, I think within 10 days or something. This one was, I think, number 6, and you found it for us in 5 days, like in half the time. And I was just so happy with this house that we're renting. And you negotiated the cost for us. We didn't have to worry about anything. Our landlords were wonderful, and at the same time, they had some behaviors that we knew were typical of doing business with many Ecuadorians, and that is they just did things a bit slower than they said they would. And you hopped right in and got the contract all ready for us. They said they'll get it ready, and
yeah, we got it moving, right? I mean, they were like, it took them like, it was taking like 3-4 days just to, but we kept it moving. So that's right. And that says a lot when you're down here trying to get a rental in a hurry.
Yeah, we hear horror stories about landlords all the time, and I must say these are the nicest people. Our landlord is just wonderful. Very pleasant, easy to deal with. If there's a problem, they come down and they fix it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but they don't argue about who should pay for it or anything. They're just delightful people.
Yeah, and you're really efficient too. I mean, you didn't even have to be with us. You got everything set up. We just showed up. We know that if we had any issues, you're you're right there. We could call you on our cell phone, and you're right there and taking care of it for us.
Not only that, but I think I may be wrong, but I think this is the first time that I've had direct contact with you. Everything has been through Jackie. And online. You can't get a whole lot easier than that for me. And I gotta say, we're real happy with the house. It's a much bigger house than we've ever had. It has 4 bedrooms. We don't need 4 bedrooms. But in the year that we've been here, we figured out the other day that there have been only 3 weeks where we did not have visitors. So it's been very handy having a big house. Big house, huge kitchen, marble floors. It's great.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Should we tell you how much everything costs? With that, we'll tell you. 4-bedroom house with the sunroom. I think it's over 2,500 square feet. You think?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Over 2,500 square feet with the sunroom, and 2.5 baths, and we got an old refrigerator and an old gas oven and stove that came with the rent, and it's $450 a month. And you had arranged a contract that we use every year, so we pay $450 a month, renewed every year until we break the contract, which I don't ever want to leave here.
We love it.
We love it here. We do.
Excellent. Yeah, I appreciate you, your trust in our assistance, and thanks for all the kind words that you've said, and it sounds like you had a good experience. You're right, though. It is buyer beware when you anytime that you're buying, like trying to find. You guys found a good landlord, and that's a good thing. It's you do have to be careful.
Our dog is coughing here.
Uh-oh. That weird sound in the background. A warning: if you're going to have pets, The veterinarian we have is fabulous. It's a team of one older man and one younger man. The younger man had lived in Boston for a while, and his English is excellent. And they're outstanding veterinarians. The fees that they charge is so much less than what I'm accustomed to in the States. At the same time, everything imported has a huge tax right now, and hopefully it's not going to be that way forever. The food that they recommend is expensive, very expensive food. That's the only warning I need to give to everybody is we're so happy that we brought the dog and our friends brought our cats over. To me, it's worth it. Just as a warning, if you want good high-end animal food, it's probably imported. It's going to have a huge import tax, and be prepared for that. And eventually, the import tax will be going down. We don't know when that's going to happen, but it's supposed to be going down.
Well, that would be good news. There's been a lot of new taxes on a lot of things. Services, airlines, foods, and prices have gone up, utility services. But you're right, that's correct. The pet food is pretty expensive here. Well, guys, we appreciate it. Is it safe to say that you guys are happy campers in Cuenca, Ecuador?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. We're here forever. We definitely don't want to.
We're here for the duration.
Love it here.
Superb. Marku, hopefully we'll run into you next time. You'll be out there dancing around in the streets, and we can see you get out there.
Right. Last time I did that, they called the police.
Nah.
That won't happen in Ecuador.
All right,
Good
guys.
talking with you.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Have a good day, guys.